Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to show you exactly how to build the perfect 5-gallon nano tank for a betta fish and make sure that you have a successful home aquarium. So without further ado, let's get started. So before you even think about buying a betta fish, you first need to gather up all the critical supplies to deliver a really great aquarium. We're starting out with a 5-gallon rimless tank. We have a hang on the back filter as well as a 50-watt heater, and then finally a whole bunch of substrate. I'm choosing sand here over gravel, but you can choose whatever you think looks best in your aquarium. Now let's take a closer look at the heater. I chose a 50-watt heater from Hygger purchased via Amazon, and links to all the products are listed below in the description. What I really like about this heater is the small form factor. Even though it's able to heat a 5-gallon tank to 78 degrees, which is critical for a betta, you still get something that's small and easy to hide with plenty of cords. Alright, and next we have the filter. I chose this hang on the back style filter from Nicrew, and I'm really impressed with this build quality, the size, the form factor, and just the overall price for what you're getting. This filter has a lot of great features, including a pre-filter sponge, which is critical for keeping betta's fins safe. It's also perfect size for a 5-gallon nano tank with plenty of room to add future upgrades for filter media, and an adjustable flow rate that's going to make it safe for the betta. It comes with this little cartridge, but we can do better with that in the future. Alright, so here it is. This is our 5-gallon rimless aquarium that we're going to turn into the perfect home for a betta fish. Now it comes with a leveling mat already perfectly cut to fit the aquarium. And what I really like about this aquarium is that it already has I don't know if you can see it with the reflections, but a black pane of glass for the back of the aquarium. And what that means is you don't have to worry about installing a background or painting the background black or white. So it just helps you get started quicker, and I think the build quality overall is fantastic. Now it's time to take all these pieces of aquarium equipment and put them together and build out our tank. I'm starting with the filter here. And that's simply because this is the largest piece of technology. I have everything assembled, including the pre-filter sponge, and I've had the flow adjusted as well, so it's ready for the betta fish. Now I'm moving around here with the filter just to show you what it looks like on either side of the aquarium, but I'm actually going to be moving it to the other side based on my hardscape. And that's what's really great about the hang on the back filter. It doesn't take up a lot of room within the aquarium, and it gives you a lot of flexibility. So now that we have that selected, we can move on to our next piece of technology. Now it's time to find a home for our heater. The best spot to place a heater is going to be right by the inlet of your filter. And the simple reason is that it's going to easily move water around the heater and therefore deliver a more consistent temperature in your aquarium while keeping it safe. Now I have to highlight that this heater just comes with so much cord. And that's amazing because it gives you so much flexibility of where to place like outlets, where to put it in an aquarium. As you can see here, I'm actually moving my filter a little bit more to the center of the aquarium so that I can put my heater in a better location for hiding it. Once we start, adding the hardscape and actually making this look like a natural environment. So now that we have the heater right by the outlet, it's going to move that hot water around and make sure that the temperatures are consistent in your aquarium. It's time for my favorite part. It's time to start your hardscape. I'm using this beautiful piece of Nicrew stone. And what you want to do is take your largest, most beautiful stone and place it in your aquarium first. This will be the focal point of your hardscape and guide all of your other actions for the build. Get it situated and make sure that your technology is still safe, and then move on with the rest of the hardscape build. Once you have your main stone placed, this is when the fun of aquascaping really begins. And you don't have to be a professional or anything special to really have a great time just placing different rocks and trying to see how they look, how you can hide the technology in the aquarium and just build something that feels natural. It's all really about trial and error, and that's what's really great about taking your time with something like this and just having fun with it. I will say that the more hardscape you have to pull from, the easier this is. But if you're on a budget, utilize what you have and build something that you find visually appealing and something you're proud of. Now here's my final hardscape. I'm really happy with the results. I also moved the aquarium to its gallery area where it's going to be staying. Now let's move forward and finish up this build. With the hardscape complete, it's time to add some sand. I'm going with white aquarium sand that I purchased from Petco, but there's plenty of other options. You can even look into your local hardware store about purchasing play sand or pool filter sand to keep your budget in line. I like to use the sand dry rather than rinsed. I actually have this tool here, it's called a sand flattener. It's used by people who are aquascaping professionals. I am certainly not, and you can see I can still use it just fine. I got it through a very cheap kit on Amazon like 6 years ago, and it's still great, so I'll link it below. It's a good tool to have. Now, what I'm doing here with the sand is I'm trying to make the substrate in the foreground as thin as possible. I want the very thinnest, most consistent layer in the front of the aquarium, because that'll not only make it look cleaner, but it also adds a lot of height. And then what I'll do is I'll add a lot of extra sand into the back of the aquarium to really augment that slope and give the aquarium more depth. It also makes the mountains, the rocks that we added earlier, really stand out. I'm using a paintbrush here to get some of the excess sand off of the rocks, but that'll come off over time with the filter running and flow in your aquarium. Live plants are a fantastic addition to any aquarium. They're really the basis of every aquatic ecosystem. Here I'm adding a plant called Anubias. They're probably the easiest plant in the aquarium hobby, and I'm just taking them and shoving them in between these cracks in the rocks and wedging them. What will happen is over time the roots will actually bond to the rocks. Now I have a clump of Java moss, another incredibly easy plant. I'm doing the exact same thing. Now both of these plants are going to work to improve our water quality, aquarium stability, and just make the entire scape look more natural. With everything in place, it's finally time to add water to the aquarium. I'm placing a plastic shopping bag at the bottom of the aquarium before pouring the water in. And this is simply to make sure that the flow of water going into the aquarium is not disturbing all the hard work you just put in to develop the scape and plant your plants. As you can see, the bag floats as it fills and really just helps you keep your aquarium in order. And then when you're done, simply remove it and let's move on to the next steps. Now that our aquarium is filled, it's time to plug in the filter and start bringing this ecosystem to life. With the filter running, you can also get your heater started up as well. I like this unit because it's digitally controlled and very easy to change the temperature. I'm targeting 78 degrees, which is the exact perfect range for a betta fish. If you remember anything from the video, it needs to be this. You have to dechlorinate the water you use to fill your aquarium. Chlorine in the water that we drink every day may be good for us, but it's absolutely horrible for the bacteria needed to develop an ecosystem to keep your fish safe. I also like to add houseplants to my aquariums. This is a pothos plant, which is really great at growing in aquariums. Simply put the roots into the water, wedge them in, and what it'll do is help keep your water clean and your fish happy. Now it's time to buy a fish, right? No, absolutely not. Your aquarium needs to go through the cycling process first, which is the most important thing in keeping your fish happy, and we'll be covering that in our next video. But you can be like me and feed your invisible fish to help get the process started.